Hi, this is Mary Scifres for Scifres Ministries. 2019 is just around the corner, and already my team and I have been hard at work on the worship plans and ideas to get you started in the new year. I'm very happy to announce David Sigmund and BJ Bew have joined the team, so you'll be getting the ideas from 3 creative worship authors, working together every single season to create the best possible creative worship ideas, words for worship, and sermon starters. This Epiphany season that begins on January 6th with Epiphany Sunday leads into the season after Epiphany. It's an ordinary season, and this year it runs for 8 full weeks, plenty of time for you to create a long sermon series or 2 short sermon series. These winter readings are very much about our gifts and the way in which God calls to us to help us use our gifts and count on God to help us work in the world. And so, David, BJ, and I have developed 2 possible series ideas for you to consider this season after Epiphany that starts on January 13th and goes all the way through Transfiguration Sunday on March 3rd. One idea, straight out of David's imagination, is to think about God sightings. Look at those scriptures and see how people see God. Epiphany is about the appearance of God through the Christ child, but the season after Epiphany gives us a myriad of other sightings of God, and how we see God in those sightings can really impact how we view the world and how we view our calling and our purpose in the world. That's the focus of God Sightings, one of 2 series for you to consider this season after Epiphany. If you go with that series, you'll be talking about how we see God in the water and the sky, how we see God in miracles, how we see God in our midst, how we see God even when we can't believe we're seeing God, and how seeing God changes everything, most of all, our perspective. Those are just a few of the sermon titles and theme ideas to go with the God Sightings series. But you might want to focus more on gifts and call. In that case, I recommend our second series, When the Spirit Calls. The Holy Spirit is evident throughout these 8 weeks of the season after Epiphany, and the call of God is evident. We begin early after Jesus accepts the call to baptism on the 13th, into the Corinthians' focus on how to use our gifts. So whether we're called from our baptism, called to use our gifts, called to work together, as 1 Corinthians continues to advise us to do, or called to love, as in 1 Corinthians 13. We are called by the Spirit to live and move in new ways each and every year. What a great idea for a New Year's series. So I invite you to take a look at your latest subscription materials to see which of those themes really speaks to you. And remember, this is an ordinary season, so feel free to mix it up. You might want to do 4 weeks of God Sightings and 4 weeks of When the Spirit Calls. Or you might even do every other week, or combine the series, or take a long 8-week series to delve deeply into one of these themes. However you choose to use your subscription materials, remember that you have not only those theme and title ideas, but creative worship ideas, videos, film clips, song ideas, image ideas, and experiential worship planning ideas to correspond to words for worship and sermon starters for each week of this season. I hope you enjoy your subscription, and if you're not a subscriber or you've let your subscription lapse, I invite you to resubscribe or subscribe anew today at maryscifresministries.com. I'm hoping these resources are as interesting and fulfilling to you as they were to our team as we created them. Happy New Year from Mary Scifres Ministries.